Welcome back to the weight room.
Yes.
Episode 9.
Episode 9. We're almost into double digits.
Yes.
It's been a long, bumpy road full of podcasts, words, other things.
Thoughts.
Yes.
Emotions.
Many thoughts. And fitness.
And health.
And health. Thank you to everyone who's been listening.
And still listening, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to our new people, too. Newbies are always welcome, always wanted. And today we're going to talk about food choices and how that intertwines with living a healthy lifestyle and fitness, and really how food is, in my opinion, more important than the fitness.
Yeah, me too. Like, I think anyone who knows their stuff realizes that your fitness program is awesome if it's awesome, but if you're not eating right, you're putting yourself so far behind what you could potentially be doing.
Yeah, I think you can be on a program all day long for the whole year, and unless you're eating right according to your goals, you won't see the results that you want to see, even though you're working out every single day. You can be following a program exactly the way it's written out, executing every movement perfectly, and if your diet isn't changing, you won't see the changes you want to see. You'll see a little bit maybe.
Yeah, you'll definitely see some changes, but it won't be anywhere near what you could be doing.
Yeah, and I also saw this post on Instagram the other day that said we could all eat the same meals and we could all do the same programs, yet our bodies would all look different. And I think that's really important to keep in mind when you're making food choices and even like program choices, you know, because I'm not eating the same amount of calories you're eating. I'm not eating the same amount of calories that someone doing the exact same stuff as me is doing.
Definitely make sure you're, I would say, tuned in to your own body.
So one thing that let's cover before we jump into grocery store shopping is that carbs aren't bad. Fat does not translate to body fat.
Right.
And protein will not make you bulky.
Yeah. Those are the three kind of big myths about each macronutrient that just completely untrue. It's kind of a shame that, I mean, when
people
you think
profit
about
off of these things.
Yeah.
Another thing is don't be afraid of getting the quote-unquote unhealthy things at the grocery store, because nothing is healthy or unhealthy in my opinion. It's either nutrient dense or it's not. Like, yes, the nutrients are healthier for you, but one candy bar or bag of chips is not unhealthy for your body.
Yeah, I mean it's just not it is what it is, you know. It's like, I mean, we all know that chips aren't benefiting our body, but it's not bad to eat them. You know, it's two different things. Like if you want something that's good and tastes good and has a bunch of sugar in it, that's fine. Like, it's okay to eat that. You just have to realize that, like, hey, this isn't progress time. This is fun time.
Yeah.
So they're just you have to have that kind of two different mindsets to go into.
Food is a great way to socialize, and I think a lot of people are afraid of socializing with food. But you go to dinner with friends, you meet up with friends, you go to a cookout. Like, you know, food is everywhere. So when you attach emotions to it and worth and value, there becomes a whole nother issue.
Yeah, that just leads down completely wrong path of your thoughts. So
really, there's a psychological factor to depriving yourself of certain foods that you enjoy, that when you do it for so long, at some point you cannot continue down that path of depriving yourself of a food or constantly thinking of a food that you really want but won't allow yourself to have. So just eat it occasionally when you're craving it, and it won't lead to a binge on that food.
yeah.
And that's why a lot of diets don't work, because people deprive themselves of every food group at once. And so they're constantly craving something that they can't have. So they lose the 30 pounds and then, oh, okay, well, lost the 30 pounds. That was my goal. Now I'm going to incorporate these things back into my diet, and they don't know how to control those.
Yeah, they're not living a healthy lifestyle. They're living like a deprivation lifestyle of, and it's not a long-term thing. So
yeah, our goal is to make this stuff long-term and livable and enjoyable. So what are your couple tips for the grocery store, would you say?
I mean, the obvious ones you're going to find anywhere is stay on the outside. That's where your fresh food is. Go after your darker, your brown instead of your whites.
But that's not to say that white rice and, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of white bread, but it's not bad for you in certain situations.
No, but I think there's plenty of things you can eat to get the white bread feeling. Like, if you want a white bread feeling, go eat a piece of candy.
Yeah.
I think if there's a healthier alternative, then you should go for that. Because there's plenty of things like candies and sugary drinks and cakes and pies and stuff that can fulfill that sugar on the spot sensation, instead of taking something like a good carb and breaking it down and then eating that like a piece of, I mean, not one piece literally, but incorporating white bread into your life, and then also saying, well, now I want something sugary.
Right.
So it's kind of like a give and a take. So that's just kind of how I see it. It's more of a, how can I improve this food's health, like healthiness, the nutrient density of it, and then if I can, go to that one, and then it kind of opens up a new world for me to say, almost in a, not a guilty or guilt-free way, because I mean, like we said, we don't want to associate guilt with food, but saying, hey, I just got a good amount of nutrients from this sandwich because I did eat a whole grain or whole wheat or whatever. Now my body's not requiring all those nutrients anymore, so I don't need, or so I can now go eat a piece of pie or whatever, a piece of cake or a piece of candy, and I still have those nutrients that I need.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
I mean, I still do eat white bread because it's just sometimes like if someone hands you a sandwich and it's on white bread, I'm not going to say, I'm not eating this.
Right.
Because that's nothing wrong.
So like we said, don't be afraid of food groups, but if you can make a healthier choice, make the healthier choice. Frozen vegetables over canned, it's a small thing, but less sodium is in those, and they're fresher. They taste better, in my opinion.
One thing I found that guess this is just more of a taste thing than anything, but I found that I like the frozen fruits better.
Really?
Certain ones. Like frozen, I love frozen blueberries over fresh blueberries.
And frozen fresh blueberries are just, like, blueberries sound good to me a lot in the store and for like a few days after I buy them, but never long enough to go through the whole thing. Another good thing to kind of tie in real quick is that just because you're eating healthy things, blueberries, fruits, vegetables, brown rice, whatever it may be, chicken, that doesn't mean you don't eat it in moderation just like you would the candy bar.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to overdo any specific thing.
It goes back to the macronutrient doesn't make you fat. Overconsumption puts fat on your body. Like when you're putting more in your body than you're, oh my gosh, look at that dog.
Yeah, definitely dogs. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like,
I can't think of caloric expenditure.
Yeah, if you eat
less than your caloric intake.
Yeah, if you eat 5,000 calories worth of blueberries, even though you ate blueberries, it's still gonna
5,000 calories.
Yeah, you're still gonna gain weight on those blueberries. Which, if you can eat 5,000 calories worth of blueberries, that's nuts.
Insane. Contact me ASAP.
But please don't attempt.
Yeah, please do not try this at home.
But yeah, so still, I mean, I definitely recommend seeing a professional, and then trying. There's sites out there that you can get your, like, if you put your age and your weight and your height in, they'll give you, this is how many calories you need to maintain your weight, to gain weight, or to lose weight. Those are, I guess, pretty decent to use if you don't have access right away. But I would definitely recommend seeing a professional. They're going to definitely have the best up-to-date information, have the tools you need. Yeah, they're going to specialize on your own body and not just saying, this is what somebody of your height and age and weight need.
If you go to a registered dietitian they're going to probably draw some blood so you'll know what micronutrients you need to focus on just as much as your macros, like your carbs and fats and proteins. You also need to focus on vitamin A and B and B12 and C and all this stuff that you probably might not be getting from food because you just don't realize what foods have certain micronutrients.
Right. And that's where educating yourself on just a quick Google search of, hey, what foods contain vitamin whatever.
And what does it feel like when my body's deprived of this? So maybe before you go to the grocery store, sorry to interrupt you. Before you go to the grocery store, make a list of what you want to have to eat that week. Yeah, I like to think about what I want to have for lunch and dinner and breakfast throughout the week. I normally stick to the same breakfast for a while, so breakfast shopping is either like oatmeal or bagels or pancakes, whatever it may be. I'll probably stick to that for about a month or 3 weeks. I just don't get tired of like breakfast foods very easily.
Yeah, me either.
When you don't have to think about what you're going to eat, you're less likely to wait till you're starving and then you're just going to pick up something that's convenient.
Right, because a lot of times convenient is in a package and it's not the best option.
Right. So yeah, I think that's important to like meal prep, but meal prepping doesn't have to be fancy at all. It literally just means gathering your food the night before for me.
Yeah.
Making the sandwich.
I mean, my meal prep is like getting the leftovers we had for dinner, putting them in a separate container, getting a tiny little container, putting some nuts in there, and then a few little, which I really like now. It's chocolate and coconut covered almonds. So good. But, you know, put a few of those in there. Then I get a couple scoops of peanut butter, put that in another one. Then, like, that's my meal prep.
Yeah.
But it saves so much time, and it's just like, it's ready to go.
People think meal prepping is Sunday, spending all of Sunday getting ready for the week. And I mean, if that works for you, that's great. But I can't do that.
Yeah,
I'm not
that just doesn't sound like fun to me.
Getting 5 meals ready for the week on Sunday.
Yeah.
The time I spend on that, I'd rather just spend throughout the week.
Yeah, because it's not a long thing. Like it's, I mean, especially if you, I mean, what I do is 10 minutes. You know, you already made your food, so then that's over with. You just got to put it in a separate container and then grab a few other containers and put some more stuff in there. So
yeah. So I think that's just important to think about meal prepping for the week ahead before you go to the grocery. And also, don't go to the grocery and that came out weird. I said don't and then go to the grocery. Let me start over. Go to the grocery with like something sweet in mind that you want to pick up as your treat for the week, you know?
Yeah. I have a great example of that.
Okay, go ahead.
I've been wanting toaster strudels for like over a year now.
I literally was craving toaster strudels like 3 weeks ago, so I bought like 2 boxes.
Yeah, and I've been wanting them so long, and I was just so hyped to eat them, and I haven't even eaten one yet. That's like the definition of satisfying your craving.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even really want them or need them in my life. I just like the fact that they're there if I want one. It's like not denying yourself what you want, because sometimes what you think you want is different than what you actually want. And I'm definitely going to eat those toaster strudels, and they're going to be amazing, but I don't want them as much as I think I do. Right.
And I think that goes also into having stuff. If there's no sweets in the house, I want sweets. When there's sweets everywhere, I'm not as likely to grab it because I know it's there. It's not a mental thing of, oh, it's not here. And that goes back to, like I said, there's a psychological aspect of
deprivation.
Not having something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting, actually. And another example, I went to the store, and I was craving ice cream. I literally made a special trip at like 9 p.m. one night for ice cream. I left the store with 3 boxes of different ones to try, and then some edible cookie dough. Because sweets sounded so good in the moment, and I didn't have anything to satisfy that. I didn't know what I wanted. Versus if I just would have picked one up at the store at the beginning of the week, I wouldn't have had to buy 3 boxes.
It was almost like you were binge buying instead of binge eating.
Right, because I didn't want to not have it for the next time. So if you see something, go up and down the ice cream or the cookie aisle, and if you see it and you say, oh, I want that this week, get that. Our point of this is not to go to the grocery store and stay on the outside. It's just the outside of the store is going to be your fresher produce,
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that meal prepping does not have to be fancy. I cannot get that through your brains enough.
Right. Yeah. Just focus on just taking less than 15 minutes each night and getting your food ready for the next day. Because when you get it ready before and you're not rushing, you're going to choose much better foods than if you wake up. Because let's just admit it, sometimes we wake up late. We got to grab and go, and we grab a microwave burrito.
Right. So just take 30 minutes on your rest day. Give yourself a rest day. Plan out your week. Plan out your grocery trip. And it will really pay off. And something we didn't mention is snacks.
Snacks.
Cut up veggies. Fruit.
Snacks.
So yes, buy some snacks because you're going to get hungry. You shouldn't be just eating 3 meals a day. Let's be real, you're going to get hungry. So prepare for the times that when you're hungry after your lunch, before your lunch. A lot of people think in order to lose weight, this goes back to what we talked about earlier, but to lose weight, you have to eat 3 meals a day.
Or less even.
Yeah.
Some people think you should skip breakfast or skip dinner or skip whatever.
Yeah.
Which if that's what works for you and you still feel good and you're still healthy, there's nothing wrong with that because it's your body. But don't think that that's the only way to do something.
Right. Yeah. If you've never tried it, don't bash it until you've tried it and you can say for sure this doesn't work for my body, because I guarantee there's a lot of people that don't eat breakfast right now that say they don't want to eat breakfast or don't like eating breakfast, but they've never tried it and they don't realize the benefits that breakfast can bring.
So, small things.
Yeah, it really is the small things in it. It really, food in your diet is a lot about the mentality you carry with it.
Yeah, don't
so
negativize it. That was a weird word.
Don't put a negative and moral and emotion type of mindset into food.
Yeah, it is. It's just food. It's what you put in your body.
Right.
It's not evil.
Food is nothing more than food.
Yep.
And energy, really.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
So, yeah, that's episode 9. Just a few tips on how to better grocery shop, and maybe we'll get into nutrition labels in a later episode, because I know that's something that I struggled with for a while.
Yeah. Reading them can be tricky.
Yeah.
But once you get them, it kind of unlocks a whole new world of your understanding.
Right.
So thank you for listening to this episode of The Weight Room. We really appreciate it if you made it this far.
Yep.
And if you're subscribed to our channel, thank you. And if you're not, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Spotify. And please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You can leave us a 5-star rating if you think we're 5 stars. And
number 1, let us know why. Don't just leave a star, please. Let us know.
Yeah, and if you ever have any topics that you'd like to hear us talk about, if you ever have any comments, you can contact us through Instagram.
At Holly Voles with 2 Y's.
And Daniel.personaltraining.
Yeah, and if you ever want to share your thoughts on the podcast, we're willing to have you on. We're welcoming to have you on. We'd love to have you on next Friday or 2 Fridays from now, or whenever. I don't know. 2 episodes from now, probably. We'll have a guest on.
I think it's the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't really.
Yeah, it'll be the next
weeks.
episode. We're going to have another guest on, so we're
episode
excited
10,
about that. He's a pretty interesting character.
Yeah. Never a dull moment, that's for sure.
Yeah, but stay tuned to the podcast and keep your eyes open. We'll be dropping things usually on Monday to Tuesday, and that's about it.
Yeah, and have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.